Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on your time zone. Great to have you again in our YouTube stream. In February, we have started the series of ALM webcasts. They were 4 webcasts distributed over 4 weeks. The session today concludes the LM for SAP S/4HANA webcast series, comparing SAP Cloud ALM and SAP Solution Manager. Today, our expert speaker, Kai Rademan, will focus on the topic IT service management and other services that are available in SAP Solution Manager, but not in SAP Cloud ALM. My name is Larissa Brinkmann from the SAP Global User Groups organization, and I'm your host for today. We kindly ask you to post your questions via live chat, and we will answer them at the end of the presentation. The PDF of the session will be available under the same link in the description to the video of today's session shortly after the stream is finished. And the schedule of all sessions that were broadcasted on the LM series are available in the description to these videos. Of course, you can watch replays of those sessions on demand. With this, I wish you great interaction, and I kindly ask Kai to take over.
Yeah, thank you very much, Larissa, and hello, everyone. I'm so glad that you joined this session again on the discussion, on our ongoing discussion about which application lifecycle management solution is best for SAP S/4HANA cloud customers or customers with RISE with SAP contracts. Basically, as you might remember from the previous session, first of all, I have to show you this disclaimer. Some forward-looking statements, which I do in my presentation, might turn out differently in the future. Don't mind, this can happen with future announcements. But now really going into the topic. So the question of the entire series and also of this last part of the series is really, what is the better solution for your projects? Is it SAP Cloud ALM or is it SAP Solution Manager? And just to briefly, generally focusing on these two application lifecycle management options, just remember SAP Solution Manager is an on-premise solution for helping you implementing and operating your system landscape. SAP Solution Manager is included in your on-premise software license agreements and the maintenance contract which you have with SAP. SAP Cloud ALM, on the other side, is a cloud-native solution, so nothing to install on-premise. SAP Cloud ALM is just in the cloud, and it is focused for cloud-centric customers, but this does not mean that SAP Cloud ALM cannot support you if you have on-premise solutions. This is covered by SAP Cloud ALM as well. In the previous 3 sessions, I have talked about SAP Cloud ALM in general. I have talked about the implementation part, which you see here at the top of this circle, adopt the latest innovations. And we have in the last session talked about operations, keep your business running. So there was just one part of SAP Cloud ALM and of course also Solution Manager missing. And this is the topic of services. So today I will compare how well does SAP Cloud ALM or how well does SAP Solution Manager support you in consuming services delivered by SAP, mainly support services. So let's take a look on how SAP Cloud ALM and SAP Solution Manager support the delivery of support services. And here, of course, SAP Solution Manager can do support this delivery of services. So it's working. However, we have got quite some feedback from customers that there are improvement potentials on the SAP Solution Manager side. One very important issue here was, or still is, that you have to make sure that your on-premise SAP Solution Manager is up to date to really consume the latest service content, which needs to be imported to your SAP Solution Manager. And also the ways how the services at SAP are structured, how well the output is readable, these kind of things. This has been points where customers have requested improvements. And since we at SAP started the development of our cloud application lifecycle management platform, SAP Cloud ALM, of course, it was clear that it's also a good point to improve the way how we deliver services to you as a customer. So Cloud ALM is a cloud solution, and therefore it's easy for us to keep it always up to date. So you do not need to care about deployment of any support packages or whatsoever to make your SAP Cloud ALM tenant up to date. It is up to date always automatically. SAP takes care. And also what we did is not only changing the delivery platform, but also improving the content which is delivered via this platform, that we really have better collaboration between you as a customer and us at SAP while delivering support services. First of all, our premium services like SAP Max Attention or SAP Active Attention, but also SAP Enterprise Support Services can be delivered via SAP Cloud ALM. And the good news here is also that this works for customers that have only on-premise solutions from SAP. They all have, if they have enterprise support or these premium engagements, the right to use SAP Cloud ALM, so they can access the services that are delivered to them, or the result of these services delivered to them via SAP Cloud ALM. Basically, SAP Cloud ALM provides, at least at the moment, 3 components for delivering the services. First of all, the Service Delivery Center, which is a single place to access the information of the services which have been delivered to you in the past, but also services that are available for you that you might access in the future. For these future services, of course, there is no individual content regarding your company in yet. This happens through the service delivery, but you get information on all services in the Service Delivery Center. Then, of course, somehow the service results have to be presented to you. This is done in the section Service Results, where you can easily drill down on the results, on the findings of the services that have been delivered to you. And finally, we have an action regarding issue and action management. So the services identify improvement potentials, and you can, of course, see all these improvement proposals in the individual services. But if you have multiple services delivered to you, to your company, then the issues in action management gives you a good overview of all these improvement proposals which are part of the service delivery. So this is just talking about it. Probably it's better if I show it to you how this does work. So I switch again to my SAP Cloud ALM demo system. And here we have the section SAP Cloud ALM for services, where you find the Service Explorer, where you find the Service Delivery Center and the issue and actions management just mentioned by me. And if we take a look at the Service Explorer, here for this setting, I'm in a demo system, there is just one service displayed here. It is a continuous operations health check. And if I select the service, I get more information on this service. So the different actions that are part of the service, the first part has been activated already. You have further down frequently asked questions and all this kind of information related to the service. And now let's take a look into the operations assessment, which should open here. So sorry, this is, there we go. Clicked on the wrong button. So here in the assessment tool, you get a list of the incidents which have been found. We have some analysis things. We have further information at the bottom. And if I take a look at the incident analysis dashboard, you get, this was a preparation service. You get just the basic findings of this preparation, and you can also drill down into details for this parts to see more of the, for example, which components have created these incidents, which categories are part. This is all the information available in the for the service in the Service Explorer. So next I want to show you the Service Delivery Center. In the Service Delivery Center, you get more details on the individual services. And if I select a specific service here, for example, the Solution Management Assessment service, you get the corresponding information out of these services. You also can, for preparing the service delivery, see the preparations tasks that are included. And here again, we have such an example where an SAP node needs to be implemented. So you see, even if it is in Cloud ALM, we have here now a service that is delivered on an on-premise system where the SAP node needs to be included. So SAP Cloud ALM covers both on-premise and cloud services. And you can also get, for example, to the issues and corresponding actions. You even see multi-language support here possible. So just to give you an overview about the Service Delivery Center. And then finally, let's go to the issues and action management. Here you have a list of the actions, the issues found in multiple services, and also similar, the standalone actions which are part. So a very convenient way to really take a look into the results of the service delivery and also make sure that the proposed actions are executed correctly. So that's for the demo for today. And let's just take a brief look into what is the future of SAP Cloud ALM for service. Similar like SAP Cloud ALM itself, also the service part of SAP Cloud ALM is pretty new, but we have big plans on further improving this year. So we are working on machine learning for these services. We are preparing self-services that you can also consume without experts from SAP. So I'm sure in the future you will get even much more value out of the service part of SAP Cloud ALM. The next topic I want to talk about today is the topic of IT service management. And this refers to comparison of SAP Solution Manager and SAP Cloud ALM. And SAP Cloud ALM do not provide the exactly the same connection between or the same functionality. The Solution Manager on the left-hand side, these blue bubbles, you see there are some functionality on the green hexagons of Cloud ALM. There are others, and there is functionality which is not delivered directly by SAP Cloud ALM, but via integration with services or tools, third-party tools that are connected to SAP Cloud ALM via APIs. And if we take a look at the customer ITSM, so the way that you as a customer can use the service desk in SAP Solution Manager, then I have to say this functionality is not part of SAP Cloud ALM. So if you have used a Solution Manager before, then you have to see which other alternative do you use for the IT service management, for example, creating tickets or so far if the user has lost his password, just as one example, which is not supported by SAP Cloud ALM. But SAP Cloud ALM has the possibility to integrate with other third-party service desks. We have a generic API available for the connection of service desks, which can be used by the customers like you, if you have a third-party service desk available. And for the case that you are not a Solution Manager customer yet, but coming from other environments, then of course you can still stick to your existing service desk functionality. So the non-existence of IT service management in SAP Cloud ALM should not be an issue for you as well. However, there is some little functionality for services also available in SAP Cloud ALM, and this is the so-called built-in support. Built-in support means that directly in SAP components like SAP Cloud ALM, but also SAP S/4HANA Cloud or other cloud services from SAP, there is a functionality for creating tickets at the SAP if you have problems with the SAP product. So let's switch to the Cloud ALM again. And if we go to the top navigation bar, there is this little headset which indicates there is this built-in support. And if you select this, you see a lot of things that you can use to, first of all, search for a solution or also create tickets at SAP support. So this part of the service management is also included in SAP Cloud ALM. And there is one functionality in SAP Cloud ALM as well, at least at the moment, only on the operations part. On the operations part, we have the so-called intelligent event processing. This is the way to identify what shall happen with events that have been detected in monitoring. And one of the options which you have here is the generation of tickets. Let me show this briefly for you on the system. If we go to the operations part, Cloud ALM for operations, and select the intelligent event processing, you see here again and again updates have been done. Basically today have been some additional functions delivered via SAP Cloud ALM, just to let you know why these green brown bars show up there. So now we are in the intelligent event processing, and here we have a list of rules, so-called rules, what shall happen with the if a problem occurs. And if you select such a rule and go to the edit mode, so this was a rule that was not editable. Let's do it with this one. So let's do it correctly this way. And there we see the rules which define what shall happen. And for example, we can select here, send an email, or we have other possibilities like create a ticket. And if I select create a ticket, then I have to enter the name of the connection to the service desk that shall be used for handling this ticket. So this is the way how you can forward events from operations to the corresponding service desk that receives the thing. Another topic related to services are general cloud services, which we provide or which we use with SAP Cloud ALM. Basically, while we have developed SAP Cloud ALM, there have been other cloud services available already. for customers that have not used SAP Solution Manager before. And these services are, they existed already when SAP Cloud ALM came available. And of course, it makes no sense to just reinvent the wheel, and instead we established a connection here to make it sure that these good existing wheels can also be used for driving SAP Cloud ALM. So for example, the SAP Early Watch Alert, which is available as a service, we do not need to rebuild the same functionality in SAP Cloud ALM. The same is also true for the maintenance planner, which is used for planning the maintenance of on-premise systems. Here you can access this as a web service in SAP for me as well. And basically even SAP Solution Manager nowadays uses exactly this web service with, of course, a different UI, but this web service functionality for the maintenance planner in SAP Solution Manager. So the functionality is identical. And also the recommended notes that have been delivered via SAP Solution Manager, so proposals which security notes, which other hot news also are very important for your components in your landscape. These parts are now also included in the SAP maintenance planner. So the recommended notes functionality of SAP Solution Manager has been included in the maintenance planner by now. There is only one functionality, or maybe only one is wrong, but there's one related functionality which is somehow important, which is only part of SAP Solution Manager, not part of SAP Cloud ALM yet, and that is the so-called maintenance certificate, a certificate that needs to be installed on your system regularly to check that your system falls in specific support categories. This maintenance certificate is not part of SAP Cloud ALM, and if you use SAP Cloud ALM, you have to download these certificates out of the Launchpad, support Launchpad or SAP for me, and import them manually to your systems. I know for customers with larger SAP landscapes, that is somehow not nice having to do this. But yeah, as I said earlier in these and other earlier presentations, the functionality of SAP Cloud ALM is still evolving. So in the future, hopefully pretty soon, this will become available as well. I know it's a difficult thing for customers with larger landscapes. So, and then finally, let's just lose a few words on the general SAP's ALM platform strategy, also somehow related to the services. And as you might have also identified while listening to my talk in this and the previous sessions, for us at SAP at the moment, SAP Cloud ALM is our to-go solution for application lifecycle management. The goal of SAP is to support customers in having intelligent, sustainable enterprises. And SAP Cloud ALM has been designed for such solutions. And as you have also identified, SAP Cloud ALM is somehow attractive also for SAP Solution Manager customers. So you might think about changing from SAP Solution Manager to SAP Cloud ALM. However, Focused Run, SAP Focused Run, to say correctly, is also an important solution, but only for customers with the with specific operations requirements. If you as a customer have specific requirements for operations, then SAP Focused Run might be a solution for you, but for most of our customers, they can live without SAP Focused Run, so they do not need to pay extra if they do not have these additional requirements. But of course, you may ask now, why is SAP Solution Manager not included in this slide regarding the future ALM strategy? And the answer of this is somehow easy, but not so easy to digest for some of you. Basically, SAP Solution Manager is based on the SAP Business Suite. And for the SAP Business Suite, SAP has announced some time ago already that the end of mainstream maintenance of the SAP Business Suite will be reached by end of 2027. And SAP Solution Manager just follows this strategy of the SAP Business Suite because it is based on the SAP Business Suite. However, what does this really mean? End of mainstream maintenance does not mean end of maintenance in general. The end of mainstream or the mainstream maintenance will be followed by the extended maintenance, which will be available for you until 2030. And even after the extended maintenance, or if you do not choose the extended maintenance, then your SAP Solution Manager will still work, but just under the customer-specific maintenance. Regarding SAP Focused Run and SAP Cloud ALM, this does not apply. They are in mainstream maintenance, or however this is called in the cloud, even after 2030. So there is no end of any maintenance type for these two solutions. And if you are interested on what exactly this does mean for you, there are two notes here on the bottom of this slide, and this slide deck, as well as other helpful links, will be part of the session description in YouTube. So you can follow up on this too if you really want to find out the details regarding this maintenance change. So if you are a customer that has SAP Solution Manager, working on SAP Solution Manager, of course you have to think about what to do in the future, and therefore just let me briefly follow up with our transition strategy. I have shown you this slide already in earlier sessions, but I think here it's important also to say it. If you use SAP Solution Manager for operations, there are only very few cases where we do not recommend to switch immediately to SAP Solution Manager, to SAP Cloud ALM, or maybe you just use SAP Cloud ALM for operations and also for service delivery in parallel with your SAP Solution Manager. This is the one option. And if you are using SAP Solution Manager for implementation projects, then we recommend not to change immediately, but to change when it fits into your project timelines. So do not change the tool just in the middle of the project or just a few weeks before go live. Check when does it fit to your program, or also start for if you have smaller projects besides larger projects, try SAP Cloud ALM out for these smaller projects. This might also be a solution. And for these cases, if you want to switch to SAP Cloud ALM from SAP Solution Manager, just on the next slides, just very easy information on what to do to use SAP Cloud ALM, and also further links to additional material if you want to learn more. So it depends on you which way you choose for your application lifecycle management. But I think I'm obviously convinced that many of you are really candidates for using SAP Cloud ALM, and I hope you all the best success on this way. And with this, I want to thank you for joining our session, Application Lifecycle Management for SAP S/4HANA Cloud and RISE with SAP. And now it's time for you to ask additional questions to me. I'm just waiting for your input.
Thank you, Kai, for your presentation. I think our listeners are now a lot more educated to take a good decision on which direction or which path they would like to take in their projects. And I can only encourage you to bring up your questions in the chat. I allow a few more minutes for this to happen, and as the participants of our sessions are maybe thinking of the questions, maybe I have a question that came up in various customer interactions, and the question is, where can I find more information regarding the SAP Solution Manager maintenance strategy? So more or less where to find the information where you can inform yourself and get more detailed information on that.
Yeah, this is good to ask this question. Thank you, Larissa. And yeah, we have information on more detailed information on this available in the SAP support portal. But I can also tell you in the description of this session today, there is a collection of links, and there is also a link to this maintenance information page on SAP Solution Manager. So in the description of this session, there is a section, a Solution Manager, and in there I have put exactly for customers asking this question, the link to the maintenance information regarding SAP Solution Manager. There you get overview presentations on this. There you get Q&As. There you find some of these SAP notes that describe where to go. So this is also for other topics related to our session today, you will find corresponding links in the session description.
Right. This is very good recommendation to those, to all our participants. Please leverage the information collection that we included into description to this video. So anyway, it's worth to take a look at it and of course check the links and apply the information that you can find there. So I have one question in the chat. Where can I find more per industry slides and information with details for solutions? So it seems that the question is related to the solution that have this industry flavor.
Yeah, let's say it this way. At the moment, we have SAP Cloud ALM with a general functionality that is available for all industries, no specific industry-related topics. But yeah, if you, for example, come out of the pharmaceutical industry, where there are specific regulations to be met, then I have to disappoint you that SAP Cloud ALM does not support all of these regulations at the moment. There you have to wait some more years, but for all other industries that have not such a strange regulations, you can, I think, use SAP Cloud ALM. So the application lifecycle management, as said, in some cases, like the regulations, have industry-specific needs, but not for most industries. There is can use the same application lifecycle management in this and in that industry. The industry topic is more on the application side that are monitored or implemented via SAP Cloud ALM. In SAP Cloud ALM, we take the business process best practice models which SAP provides and just consume them. And I do not know exactly which industry best practices are modeled as best practice processes. Sorry for this. This is not really an ALM topic, but we just consume what is available in the SAP Enterprise Architecture reference library.
Right. Thank you for that. There is an additional comment from the user. I would like leverage the existing instead of wasting time. Correct. So meaning that this is what you referring to what you said, Kai, that for ALM also the the foundation is what is available in this reference architecture. And yes.
Yeah, that was something in the past with a Solution Manager. We had different repositories, but SAP Cloud ALM just consumes, for example, the best practice process models or the activate methodologies directly from the source. We do not rebuild these content, but use the existing content, which is available at SAP.
Right. I hope this helps to answer the question. Any additional questions, please leverage the time, bring it up. If not, you will get the PDF of the session, will be included into the description to the video, and the link will stay on YouTube and will be available for your consumption, and the replay will be available. And the contact data of Kai is also available in this PDF. So in case you come up with a question a bit later, feel free to contact him directly. So I can't see more questions in the chat. With this, again, thank you, Kai, very much for sharing all this valuable information with the community, sharing your knowledge, providing all this a collection of links where to find more information. Our short webcast series is we have a final session today, so it's close for now. However, Kai definitely will stay as will be available as a speaker for some upcoming sessions. We will stay in touch, and we definitely will offer something when it will be available.
Yeah, thank you also from my side for you joining this session. It was a pleasure for me to educate you as a user, as a member of a user group, or even as a partner from SAP. If you are just a partner, that's also fine. It's just my job helping people to better understand our offerings. And I want to thank you, Larissa, also for providing this option on having this session on YouTube today and the weeks before.
You're very welcome. And with this, again, thank you also to all the participants for joining. I wish you a great day. Thank you and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.